Today on Steel Valley Vintage, we're going to look back at all the great games that used to be in physical education back in the 1980s, 1990s, and even before. The history of physical education dates back to ancient Greece, where competition and intensity were second nature. During this time, physical education proved to be important because it was a necessity in training both Greek soldiers and athletes. Check out some of these physical education uniforms over the years that you've seen in the previous couple slides. Also, these kids doing pull-ups in a gym class. The first game included the parachute. Who remembers the parachute during elementary school? You had crossing over and crossing under, the air conditioner, mousetrap, parachute basketball, parachutes with scooters, a freeze tag type of game, a cat and mouse game around the world. Popcorn was a favorite, where you put a gym ball or a foam ball on top of the parachute and popped it up into the air. Parachute volleyball and washing machine. Kickball, originally invented as early as 1910, was also a fan favorite in physical education and gym classes for as long as I can remember. Who always had a kickball game out on the playground, out on the baseball or softball field, or of course within the gymnasium. Kickball, always a fan favorite. Look at these kids having a great time, most likely during recess. Maybe the most difficult activity within physical education was, of course, gymnastics. It included physical exercises requiring balance, strength, flexibility, agility, coordination, and endurance. Arms, legs, shoulders, back, chest, and abdominal muscles were very important during these exercises. Check out this guy on the parallel bars. Awesome. Who remembers wrestling in physical education class? So this one has long been out of the physical education programs in the United States. Who got matched up against somebody that was tougher and stronger than them? How did that go for you? A great playground game, or as you can see in this picture, a game within inside the gymnasium, was tetherball, where two players use their hands to strike a volleyball, which is suspended from a stationary metal pole by a rope or tether, and you try to wrap the ball around all the way to the top in your direction. How many injuries have occurred during this game with the ball hitting someone in the face or a hurt finger or other body part? Speaking about injuring fingers, who remembers the scooters when the physical education teacher brought them out for a day of activities, either through relay races, racing around in chaos throughout the gym, obstacle courses, soccer, hockey, and all kinds of other activities? These scooters are still used today, but I would assume they are used in a much safer, controlled environment than I remember. One of my favorites, floor hockey. Super dangerous shots to the shin, super dangerous possible hits to the face, but who didn't love a great game of floor hockey? Tug of war is a sport that pits two teams against each other in a test of strength. Teams pull on the opposite ends of the rope with the goal to bring the rope a certain distance in one direction. This sport, of course, is extremely dangerous, causing many back strains and many other injuries that could be catastrophic to the hand, wrist, or finger. Sometimes there have even been amputations associated with this game. Who could forget square dancing? A dance for 4 couples, or 8 dancers in total, arranged in a square, with one couple on each side. Facing the middle of the square, square dances contain elements from numerous traditional dances and were first documented in 16th century England. Maybe the greatest day of all, when the dodgeballs were set out in the gym, a team sport in which players on 2 teams try to throw the ball and hit opponents while avoiding being hit themselves. Dodgeball sure was rough and dangerous within elementary, middle school, and high school physical education classes, and it's really not played much today. Some of these pictures of these kids climbing the rope are crazy to look at today. The danger involved with climbing all the way to the ceiling and touching the rafter is just insane to think about. The rope climb, of course, did assess and improve upper body strength and full body coordination, and almost every gym and gym class in America had the rope climb available for these students. These kids sure look like they are having fun. These kids back in the day in this old school gym as well. I hope you enjoyed this video of me putting together some of the awesome activities that were in physical education classes in the 1990s, 1980s, and even before. As we look at a few of these last pictures, we can only reminisce at the great times that we may have had in physical education class. And who could forget the presidential fitness testing program with the mile run, sit and reach, pull-ups, shuttle run, and more. And who wouldn't like to cool down on this old Schwinn exercise Aerodyne before going into the locker room, placing our items back into the locker, locking them up, hoping that they will be safe for the physical education class that we were to have the next day. I hope you enjoyed this video on Steel Valley Vintage. I would like to do a few more of these, as of course you hit the showers before your next academic class. See ya.